Thousands of students will don caps and gowns to walk the graduation stage at Oklahoma high schools this month. But many who successfully completed their classes still will not get a diploma. That's because this year's seniors are first required to pass at least 4 end-of-instruction tests to earn that diploma.
In 2005, the state legislature passed ACE. ACE stands for Achieving Classroom Excellence. It calls for all high school students starting with the class of 2012 to pass end-of-instruction tests, which are more commonly referred to as EOIs, in core subject areas in order to receive a high school diploma.
There's Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, U.S. History, Biology, English 2, and English 3.
In addition to passing their classes, all high school students must also pass the Algebra 1 and English 2 end-of-instruction exams, plus at least 2 of the other EOI tests to get the diploma. Damon Gardenhire is the spokesman for the State Department of Education.
Nobody wants to see a student go without a diploma, but we do have to have some standards of excellence in place for the state.
Melissa White is the executive director of ACE at the State Department of Education. Her office tracks how many students pass or fail their EOIs.
According to the numbers that we have, we're looking at about 33,000 seniors that are expected to graduate this year. Of those, there's about 2,000 to date that we know of that have not shown proficiency in 4 of the 7 EOIs.
2,043 to be exact. 2,043 students who may not get diplomas because they haven't passed 1 or more end-of-instruction exams, even if they've successfully completed their class coursework. The precise number of how many students won't be eligible to graduate won't be known until after most schools hold commencement exercises. That's because the results from the latest round of EOI testing won't be out before seniors from those schools don their caps and gowns. Christina Rotert is one of the students who won't know if she passed before her class at Tulsa's East Central High graduates. She has a GPA of 3.8 and has passed English 2, but has failed in 7 attempts to pass the English 2 EOI. Students have 3 opportunities each year to take end-of-instruction exams. Rotert took the test again 2 weeks ago.
The end of instruction is stopping me from getting my diploma.
State Representative Jerry McPeak has been an outspoken critic of ACE.
I think if you put out and said something like 2,040 children have been massacred in the state of Oklahoma, surely there'd be a public outcry. Well, we're massacring 2,040 children who have earned the right to have a diploma. And those children's lives, socially and economically, are going to be changed forever because of that.
Just one test is holding me back from my whole entire career.
What I've never understood is, by not giving them a diploma, what have we accomplished?
You know, we would be doing a disservice to students if we granted them a diploma that just measured the fact that they attended school, if nothing else, or just had a passing grade, because that wouldn't necessarily demonstrate to an employer that they had the critical thinking skills and the skill set necessary to be a good employee.
Because some students are not good test takers, ACE allows them to demonstrate proficiency in other ways. Students can show proficiency by passing portions of the ACT, completing relevant sections of a computer program called Work Keys, or by doing an end-of-course project graded by a committee of teachers.
The end-of-course projects were actually designed for those students that are proficient in the subject, but are having a difficult time showing that proficiency, maybe because of that test anxiety or just having a difficult time doing that on the EOIs themselves.
Rotert tried using the Work Keys computer program to demonstrate her proficiency, but found it difficult and frustrating.
It doesn't give you a reason what you've missed. It just tells you if you haven't passed it, it won't give you a check mark. It'll just say failed.
Across the state, 113 students opted to do an end-of-course project after failing to pass an EOI exam.
For English, for an example, they take different pieces of literature. They could be poems, stories, books, and they formulate maybe a research-type answer to a question using those pieces of works.
Kelsey Baker goes to Bartlesville High. She decided to do a project after repeatedly failing the standardized English 3 EOI exam, which is a multiple choice test.
The multiple choice questions always give you a choice to pick the answer to guess. But doing this, you have to get it right. So it shows you if you're doing it correct or not.
Terry Brandt is the principal at Bartlesville High School, where half a dozen students worked on end-of-course projects.
We've had 3 English 2, so 10th grade English projects, 2 11th grade English, 2 Algebra 1. That's what we're working on right now. We've got 3 kids that have passed their English 2 projects. We've graded those. We're grading the Algebra 1s this week and the English 3s next week. So it has been it's something that helps our kids. They're hard. I mean, they're not easy projects. They have to work on them on their own. We have to sign a confidentiality agreement. They can't work with their parents on them.
Despite all the options, Bartlesville High still has 3 seniors at risk of not receiving a diploma because they haven't passed all their EOIs.
The main concern comes from our kids that are on their own. They don't have the support at home that some of the other kids do. They work to support themselves and their families, and so school is important to them, but they might not be the best test takers, so now we're setting kids up to not get a diploma when they are worthy, they finish their classes, but they have a lot of other stuff going on in their lives that doesn't let them pass those tests.
Last month, Governor Fallin signed legislation that gives students who've successfully completed their coursework but failed to pass their EOIs 30 days to appeal the denial of a diploma to the State Board of Education. The board will then have 45 days to review the case and make a decision on whether or not to award the student a diploma.
Kathy Tatum produced this story and joins us now from our Tulsa studio. Kathy, have any students made appeals to the State Board of Education on this?
Well, Susan, yes, 3 already have, and 1 was granted a diploma. 2 others are being evaluated at this time. Now, the State Board of Education says even before the legislature told them they had to have an appeals process, they did have one in the works. And that right now at their May meeting, they're going to work out just what exactly the details are they need to make their process and the one the legislature has asked them to complete work together.
Well, do these kids have any options other than appealing to the State Board of Education if they are denied a diploma?
Well, right now that's a big question at a lot of high schools around the state, and some like Bartlesville have decided they're going to provide some extra help this summer for students to see if they can't get them past that last test they need to get that diploma awarded. There's also the option in the fall of some of these students going back for a 5th year of high school, and Christina Rotert has given this some thought. But she says she'd only be going back to try and take this test again and again until she gets it right, and she wouldn't be eligible to take any other classes, so this may not be a very good option for her and a lot of other students.
Well, how would denial of a diploma affect students that were planning to enlist in the military or go to work right out of high school?
Those have a lot of different options. Right now, they can continue to try and get that diploma by getting that last EOI completed. But I talked to a recruiter here in Tulsa who said, in order to enter the military, students are going to have either a high school diploma or a GED. So if they don't have the diploma, they can take the GED test, and if they pass that, then they can enter the military. When it comes to getting a job, though, most employers are going to want that diploma. And the students that had planned to go to college right after high school because they thought they were going to have that diploma, those 4-year colleges and universities may not be ready to accept students that have completed their coursework but were denied a diploma because they didn't meet those end of instruction requirements.
Tough situation. Kathy, thank you so much for that report.
It's an ongoing story and we'll keep following.
Great.